So,
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This is indeed a
Hey, Froggy.
All right, welcome to the Patriot Hour for 7/25/2018. I'm Mike, your host. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Please subscribe. Maybe after the video, leave a comment, like, share across all of your social media platforms for everyone to take part in this whole QAnon, Q clearance. What is it? What are we talking about? Well, take a look around the channel, take a look around the internet, take a look around the whole World Wide Web, all right? Articles, links. Again, if you're looking mainstream, you might as well just stay asleep. Do yourself a favor and go back to sleep. All right, so we got some new Q drops. Let's, last one we went over was 1708. All right, so here's 1709 Q 1709 in the series. All right, this came at 1935, 7:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a meme. An anonymous poster posted. Q reposted it here. Oh, bleep. Q was right. Now here comes the pain. Oh shit. Q was right. Now here comes the pain. I think we can say that word with everything else going on. Seems appropriate, right? Facebook death spiral. Stock plunges 24%. So it is now hitting the news pretty much. It's like a bloodbath. So after hours, right? They closed. So now we're at 20.23. So we're looking here, folks. They plummeted down. People saw that dip. They thought, oh, I'm going to take advantage. Went up. And then, no, they got out, I'm sure. And it just... it's climbed a little. But it's been a bloodbath since they closed. So we will see at the opening bell. But honestly, it's just the start of the pain, right? Something big is about to drop. Q. All right, so let's move on up here to 1710. So 1709 to 1710, we have a couple of reposts here. June 12th, an anonymous. Just a reply to Q from last thread about Ingram interview. It was an awful interview. Once again, weak, ineffectual, limp-wristed promises to hold a vote, to hold Rosenstein in contempt. Who cares? Until Rosenstein is hauled off by the House Sergeant at Arms, as granted per the Supreme Court, it means nothing. Anyone remember Holder? Nothing happened to him. Nothing. This pisses me off to no end. Just close the fist and crush them already. What the hell is Trump waiting for? Q puts full weight of the House versus Arm. Why are optics important? Why does DC work? How does DC work? Why is Ryan still in office? Lame duck. Why is Ryan leaving office? Who controls Ryan? Altruist engaged. Q. Relevant today, news unlocks. Do a live little update here. Just going to make sure nothing Seems like the QAnon pub is a little off. It's like I was doing a video earlier and I didn't update, nothing pulled, and then after the video is done, I'm uploading it, getting it off for you guys. I did an update and it took, and then the update was from an hour before. So glitchy, they're constant attacks. I get it, but I was just trying to go to, for now on, I'm gonna go to the source for drops. We might be, you know, I'll at least I'll tell you what, I'll keep it probably the same it's been. I'll just have the 8chan, which is this, opened on another one of my monitors so I can keep an eye out. So what I'm basically saying is so on the 8chan research board, when they hit, they'll drop right up in here. This site that I like to go to keeps all the other stuff away from you. You know, we don't have to, when we go to a actual drop, I think it's taking me there, so it's taking a minute. But or I'll do it from this way. We go here. So when it drops, you'll have all the other stuff around it. So when I was doing a video, it just took a minute to, I mean, a minute was like an hour. So I understand if the trip code changes, that you know, the moderator of this website here that he owns, he would have to go in, because this is polling. This is set up to, you know, randomly, maybe every 10 seconds check. But it used to be better than what it is what I'm saying. All right, I've noticed some, and I'm trying to get the information out to you guys. And instead of having to do 3-4 videos, I'd rather do a 20-minute one and cover them all instead of 8 minutes. And so anyway, if I got done doing a video, then I did a check and I polled, and it was one just right then, and that's fine. I'd be like, oh, okay, I missed it. But that was already there. It was already out. I polled. I didn't pull it in. I'll correct that in my own way, but I was just thinking here out loud with you guys. All right, so I was doing a check to make sure nothing more, and there isn't. Okay, the last thing here, let's look at this. When did No Name last travel? Or to load. There we go. Was he in the pick dropped? Whoa, part of the whole meeting. If you have proof, arrest the old dirty guy. Nobody likes him. 2016. With Pelosi or related DIA research. I don't know when, but I know why. Deep state. Zuckerberg lost 16.8 billion and Google is Google next. September of 16. July 12th, 2018. McCain rips Trump NATO actions. Disappointing, but All right, so let's. I got another little article here to share with you guys. All right, so this is. Let me get this over here. All right, off the. This is Serial Brain 2. All right. This is on the Brennan problem. Can you solve the 561 triangle? Bachman, Scalia, and JetBlue. Submitted about 7 hours ago by Serial Brain 2. Do you believe in the coincidence? Welcome back, Q. To those who said Q was done posting, you may now delete your accounts and enjoy your deserved right to remain silent. Constantly, eternally. Did you know Trump told us Q was about to post soon in this video? Did you know Trump told us Q was about to post soon in this video? Try to solve this and I'll give you the solution in my next post. I'll have to check this video out. I don't know how long it is. See here if this ad. Alright, it's a 19-minute video. Now let's talk about John Brennan. Have you ever wondered about why psychopaths leave clues on their crime scenes to give an idea of their identity? The first reason is they want to demonstrate their ingenuity, which is, they want to boast about how good they are, and they can leave stuff and still get away with it, and how clever they are. All right, it's how these evil people think. Hey, it's me. Everybody knows it's me, but can anybody prove it? The second is why they want to be feared. You see, don't mess with me. If you do, I can destroy you just like I did this person over here with so and so, and nothing will ever happen to me. You've seen it. I'm sure at this point you're wondering what this has to do with Brennan. I will tell you. Do you remember Michelle Bachmann from the Republican Party? The notorious congresswoman from Minnesota. Well respected, adulterated, and easily getting reelected 4 times. Her 8 years in Congress was a dream come true for any DC politician until she messed with Brennan. When she did, it was over, overnight. You did not know? Let me show you. On Thursday, April 11th, 2013, Michelle Bachmann grills CIA Director John Brennan during the Intelligence Committee hearing and asks him about White House armed drone strikes in Libya and U.S. nuclear policy red line in Iran. Watch how Clapper tries to save his buddy. I'm going to get this the right way. So, give me a minute here and I will pull up a web browser.
I've got to tell you something important. It's not going to be easy. Quicksilver earns you unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere. Actually, that's super easy. My bad.
Mrs. Bachman. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and welcome, Mr. Brennan, to the committee. We thank all of you for being here. I joined Mr. Lobiando. It is really an honor to be able to meet with the intelligence community all over the world, and we thank them for their work. My questions are regarding Iran and obtaining the nuclear weapon. I'd like to ask some questions about that, but before I do that, I'd like to ask a question of Director Brennan. When the White House conducted their armed strikes in North Africa, particularly in eastern Libya, prior to the attack on our mission in Benghazi on 9/11 last year, did the White House notify the State Department of the armed drone strikes before they were made?
Armed drone strikes in Libya? I'm unknowing of such, and I would defer to the White House to address your question.
Were there any armed drone strikes in northern Africa that were made by the White House?
White House doesn't have a drone capability, responsibility, whatever. So,
Did they have any directives toward having armed drone strikes in North Africa?
Again, I don't know what it is specifically you're referring to, but again, I would defer to the White House on whatever happened at that time.
Well, I can speak to the capability. The UAVs that were flying over Libya were military and were unarmed.
And so were there any armed drone strikes that were made in North Africa prior to 9/11?
In Libya?
I'm asking in North Africa. I'm asking Director Brennan, were there any armed drone strikes that were made by the United States in North Africa prior to 9/11?
Well, we usually don't talk about any type of specific actions, but I don't know what you could be referencing.
I'm just wondering if the State Department was aware, or if the military was aware, or if the CIA was aware. And if we aren't going to talk about that, we aren't going to talk about that, but that's a question I'd like to know. Going back to Iran.
So, let's think about that. Think about that. So he's got what? Michelle, what happened to you? Everybody knows these strikes happened. Everybody knows Brennan was coordinating them when he was a chief counterterrorism advisor to the contortionist. Everybody knows how the deep state allowed Iran to access nuclear tech, just like they did with North Korea. But Michelle, you're not allowed to talk about it. You should have waited for Q. So they released a full media round on her. All right, so during the CIA hearings, Michelle Bachmann baffles CIA reps with dubious questioning. Brennan baffled by Bachmann at briefing. Michelle Bachmann, romance novel author, talks to HuffPost Live. Vicious questions to book author to undermine his personal life. Michelle Bachmann embarrasses herself during House Intelligence Committee hearing. Bachmann completely baffles John Brennan with bizarre questions during CIA hearing. Bill Maher. Eulogy by Michelle Bachmann. So they went full-fledged. CIA director can't believe Michelle Bachmann asked that question. All right. Then they attacked her intimate life. Watch in the following video how the two interviewers are desperately trying to perniciously pull an author into something he does not want to be involved in, letting us know the exact reason why they invited him. Interview. Then to finish her, they sent the fragmentation FBI bomb. Link. Michelle Bachmann presidential campaign investigation joined by FBI. FBI has jumped into a multi-pronged investigation of alleged misconduct by the failed presidential campaign of Representative Michelle Bachmann, Republican out of Minnesota. The Star Tribune in Minneapolis reported on Sunday. While the FBI wouldn't confirm nor deny any involvement in the probe, sources with knowledge of the campaign and investigation told the Star Tribune that the FBI made inquiries about former Bachmann Chief of Staff Andy Parrish, as well as other former staffers. All right, so the FBI, that this was too much for her. 47 days after her scandalous questioning at the intelligence hearing on Tuesday, May 28th, 2013, she publishes the following video, from which you only need to watch the first 15 seconds. Copy. Post. Down. Okay, I can't watch it that way because it doesn't really play for you guys. The volume on a desktop capture won't work, so I got to bring it in. No problem. I'm on it.
After a great deal of thought and deliberation, I have decided next year I will not seek a 5th congressional term to represent the wonderful people of the 6th District of Minnesota. After serious consideration, I am confident that this is the right decision. For some, a single 2-year House term is enough service. For others, 10 terms or 2 decades in the House is still not enough service. Our Constitution allows for the decision of length of service.
All right. Okay, so let me see here. I got the wrong. Back it up. Back it up. All right. So that was too much for her, right? After 47 days after the scandalous questioning, she published that video. We watched 25 seconds. It was over. Michelle Bachmann was politically dead. Now, how do I know our guy John has his hands all over this political murder and made it known? Remember, gematria. A equals 1, B equals 2, C3, Z26. What is the gematria of John? Yes, 47. Now look. John Brennan's 47-day destruction of Republican Bachmann. John equals 47. John equals 10, 0. Okay, so we know how that works. Bachmann grills John Brennan in Congress April 11th, May 28th. 47 days. These people are sick. So you see, folks, before Trump, that's how D.C. worked. They used to work. The law of the jungle in silent mode. When you die, you are not allowed to scream. And when you kill, you are not allowed to brag. These people, therefore, found creative ways to establish their influence and display their invisible stripes. Gematria and timestamps were among the tools they favored to make the monkey understand the lion. Exercise your decoding skills and try to determine in the following video who the newly elected DC politician is, who the deep state is, the U.S. deep state is, who the foreign deep state is, who our tax money is, who the social justice warrior is, and who the people is. Enjoy. Use your decoding skills. So that would be one to kind of get into. We're not going to do that right here. We're going to keep on moving down in this article. Q659. Effective yesterday, while standing under the Statue of Freedom, POTUS freed those good people. People who currently are being blackmailed, threatened, and enslaved. Those who stood chanting USA were freed. The shot heard round the world. Trey Gowdy, We the People, Freedom Day, Light Q. All right, so that takes us back to post 659. Almost got it, because I know where they're at on these pages. All right, so there it is, all right? Effective yesterday, while standing under the Statue of Freedom, POTUS freed those good people who are currently being blackmailed, threatened, and enslaved. Those who stood chanting USA were freed. The shot heard round the world. Trey Gowdy. That was his out. That's what that little arrow is, all right? That was his out. Being blackmailed. Trey Gowdy, good guy. Got blackmailed. And Trump freed him that day of his blackmail. Erased the wrong. And Trey's still got to leave. But he didn't do anything that bad to where he's going to have to go to jail. He's going to have to go back to just regular life. No more DC. All right. So we the people, Freedom Day light. All right, we're back. So let's go back to our article here. So did I really need this example to illustrate how Brennan operates? Not really. Q told us clearly what happened to Supreme Court Anton Scalia. AS. Q told us it was a 187 murder link and also told us who ordered it. Here's a link. I didn't mean to say that, but murder, and also told us who ordered it. Right, so there is a video, California murder law, Penal Code 187. Malicious or forethought means a killer with wanton disregard for human life does an act that involves a high degree of probability that will result in death. All right, so Q 1161, Supreme Court, Ruth B. Ginsburg, as 187, Clown Black Brennan, Q. The interesting question now is, can we find Brennan's signature somewhere? Well, the first thing to remember is Scalia's topic of predelication was privacy. Link 1, link 2, link 3. He's taking us. Scalia's privacy impact will be felt for years to come. One would think privacy was a concept that Justice Anton Scalia disliked. After all, how could a textualist and firmly believed in lawyers' obligation to follow the text respect a concept as nebulous and a blurry edge as privacy, a concept whose very meaning continues to befuddle lawyers? Okay. We got a couple links. Scalia's positions, which evolved over time, started to become a problem for those who believe, like Brennan, that in the name of national security, privacy should be a word with no substance. When was Scalia 187? February 13th, 2016. Look who was aired on 60 Minutes the next day to give us a problem solution lecture on terrorism and how the privacy issue should be addressed or not. Video, all access. Okay. Pretty cool, right? Well, I don't have, we didn't get to see it, but that's another way to give a clue. The next day of whatever happened, you randomly appear in the news and address a related topic. Keep this somewhere in the back of your head. Now let's explore Brennan's latest Twitter account. His first tweet is posted on 21st, 2017. As a first tweet, you would expect something cool or a happy message, right? Well, no, not with Brennan. This is how he says hello. May the 270 innocent souls lost in the Pan Am, 103 bombing 29 years ago today never fade from our national memory. Our thoughts and prayers are with their families and families of all the victims of terrorism's scourge. All right, so Not with him, right? Pretty scary, right? But with the training I have given in my previous post, and in particular Q's translations of Comey's tweet, this is the one where we learn the comms a little bit, right? So when these people are highly being looked at, they will tweet. This is a great tool for them. They can blend right in. Back in the day, they'd have to come up with even, when they're on shows, talk shows, certain hand signals, drinks in front of them, the way the Cokes with the names on them now. They're doing all kinds of things, folks. There's all kinds of ways to talk and get your message out to your conspirators, and your. All right, so we know this one. Special Agent McCabe stood tall over the last 8 months, meaning do not talk. When small people, sheep, were trying to tear down an institution we all depend on, cover. He has served with distinction for 2 decades. We own you and your family. So this goes on and on. This is how it works. I wish Andy well. 187, we're killing you if you talk. I wish continued strength for the rest of the FBI. General threat to all the others. America needs you. Activate the sleeper cells. All right. We are learning the comms. So we see how Q translated that. You know this message is a threat to Trump's administration. You know the message translation is our memory will soon be refreshed with another aircraft false flag where hundreds of innocents will die. Stretch? No. I use Q's translations of Comey's tweet as a template. 187 means murder, right? Let's add up 187 to the date of his tweet, December 21st, 17, plus 187 days equals June 26, 2018. What happened on June 26, 2018? This. All right. All right. So I remember that night I was watching Tucker and it broke. He broke into that tarmac pit with all the lights. And he didn't really know. And he's like, I'm not going to give in, until we know. I'm just breaking. This is what's happening. But I do not know anything. And they just kind of showed some footage. Then he went back to his show. So that was exactly the days, right? June 26, 2018. Yes, the JetBlue incident at JFK. We all know it was an aborted false flag. I wrote about it here. So exactly 187 murder days after Brennan refers to an aircraft terrorist attack, the JetBlue incident happens at JFK. Coincidence? If you think it is, then ask yourself why. Before the incident, would Brennan retweet, of all people, Joe Kennedy? Joe Kennedy, JFK Airport. There you go. Now, if you still have doubts about what is really going on here, remember I told you to keep somewhere in the back of your head how 60 Minutes was used the next day. Scalia was murdered to give a hint, right? Well, the following article was published the next day of the JFK JetBlue incident. Here's a link. John Brennan, former CIA spy master, steps out of the shadows. He quietly ruled the national security state under President Obama. Now he's coming forward to rail against Trump and to defend his own legacy. He called Trump a snake oil salesman. You see the picture, right? You see the title? It says it all. He was hoping to make a point and show his gangsta power to Trump. Unfortunately for him, we know how the USSS helped avoid this false flag. United States Secret Service. In Q 1589, signal sent, attempts still made, averted. Now I have a question for you. If I figured this out from my kitchen, can you imagine for a second what Trump has gathered from the servers and from the data Q has collected while they thought their comms were secure? Mr. President, you are right. It is time to revoke their security clearances without hesitation. We are with you on this. We are asking you to #revoke the clearances. In the meantime, our eyes are wide open. We know who is who and who is doing what. All members of our movement are now trained. We are tracking and analyzing each of their the TV and the radio interviews, each of their tweets, each of their newsletters. Now it is good time to call what Chuck Schumer said on January 3rd, 2017 video. And in 61 days later, here is Trump's response video. Did you ask yourself why POTUS repeats full faith? Everything he does or says is for a particular reason. So in this video here, Trump repeats the word full faith, full faith. And Schumer All right. I don't know if you guys could hear that one. But that's where Schumer says you take on the intelligence community. They got 6 ways from Sunday getting back at you. So it was kind of a threat. That's what that one was for Chuck Schumer. And now here, 561 days later, here's Trump's response. And this video is going to show you where Trump talks about full faith. Everything he does or says is for a particular reason. What does full faith and false flag have in common? Why are the lights turned off at the very same time POTUS says full faith a second time? What does POTUS really have full faith in? You know, this light incident at the White House was engineered to make a point. In a sense, it was a false flag. Q 1688. Dark to light, good wins. Q. Clapper got the message. He was trained to understand this type of message. He knows the power of the plan, and he may even have an idea of the power behind the plan. Clapper submitted. Next link. All right, so now that was the one where they're talking about removing the security clearances. All right, so Clapper submitted next. The others still hiding in the dark corners of the 17 intelligence agencies will have to spend more time meditating on the 561 to finally realize who really wrote the plan and who is running it. 561 equals 33 times 17. Q1918. Wait until you learn who has been talking to you here. Wow. Pretty interesting little article there. You guys let me know what you think. I will link that below so you can check it out for yourself. All right, Serial Brain link to the Brennan problem. BP, the Brennan problem. Can you solve the 561 triangle, Bachman, Scalia, and JetBlue? Interesting article. I wanted to share it with you guys, so I did. All right. All right, we were at the 40-minute mark. I almost did I'm super tired. It's getting late. We'll do a final little Q update here just to be sufficient on making sure we got nothing new. All right, nothing so far. I'm gonna go to the source. Like I said, I'll show you guys how I'll be doing this. Something big is about to drop. All right. Got nothing more, nothing new. All right, I'm Mike. This is a Patriot Hour. Thanks for tuning in. And again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, share, drop us a comment. We love the comment section. It's a really good collective place for everyone to get together and get some real good research. There's normally ways it'll point you off. You can get your research done, links. People are real good about pointing you in the right direction. Again, don't take anything we say here to be fact or truth, or we're shoving it down your throat. Do your own research and prove us wrong. Prove what we're telling you is not true. All right. Pay attention. Buckle up. It's going to be an interesting next several days. I expect here this Friday night, probably something's going to be getting dropped in the late, into the Friday late night, into the Saturday morning, so they can get as least damage control. Maybe this administration will do it more forefront for us, but that's the old norms. These people have really lost their grip and their power. Power's been removed, and they're scrambling. It's kind of interesting and fun to watch a little bit, honestly, I have to admit. These media channels, their heads are spinning, and they don't get the leaks like they used to, the timed little leaks, and make everything real peachy gravy to cover for the deep state. That is all ended, and they're scrambling. So, all right, folks. Again, QAnon. The Great Awakening. All right. Where we go one, we go all. All right, I'm Mike. Patriot Hour. God bless, Godspeed, and have a great evening. We'll see you back here in the next update video. God bless. Good night.
I think so. What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This is indeed a Q.
Hey, Froggy.